take a look at the latest news about Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea are close to be agreeing a £97.5 million deal to re-sign the player. He left the club in 2014. It's expected to be a 5-year deal. And as you can see by the stats here, it is in the last 2 seasons with Italy where he really has become a top star in world football. Chelsea very eager to sign him, and the player is said to have made it clear that he would like to move there if an acceptable offer has been made, and that does seem to be the case, and so there is lots to talk about right now. Nedum, how much better does Lukaku up top make Chelsea?
Yeah, I think that makes them a huge threat. I think last year, for as good as they were, it felt like with Timo Werner in there and whoever else would be playing that sort of position, they could create some chances, but they weren't really as clinical as, say, perhaps the manager would have liked, because there were quite a few games I felt which maybe they could have capitalised on an early chance and controlled it in a different manner. But in someone like Lukaku, to be completely honest with you, as somebody who supports Man City, that's the type of signing which sort of puts you on the back foot just a little bit. And even looking at the statistics there, I think in that 2018-19 season where he only scored 15, he was actually second top scorer for Man United, I believe. So let's not necessarily look at that in isolation. And he is somebody, as I say, he scores a ton of goals. And I think coming back to England, if it does happen, will be coming back with a lot of confidence, because now he's coming back as a champion, and he's going back to Chelsea not as the youngster who's coming through their academy or anything like that. He's coming as a proven striker, one of the most expensive strikers in history, and I think he'll probably play up to that standard.
And it's a good point Nedum makes, Shaka. Do you think that coming back to the league, he feels as though he has unfinished business at Stamford Bridge and maybe in the Premier League in general?
I think with the league, more so than just at Stamford Bridge. He was a young man when he left Chelsea, first time of asking. I thought he excelled at Everton, and then that big move to Manchester United just didn't work out for him. And you saw Lukaku rediscover that form, not rediscover the form of a striker, rediscover his confidence, though I never really thought that he lost much of that. But most importantly, in the last 12 months, the one big criticism we've had of Lukaku previous is that he simply wasn't a clean enough, clinical enough finisher. The last 12 months, I think he addressed that. He came into his own in that regard, and now coming back to maybe kind of exercise some of those ghosts of that failed spell at Manchester United. It couldn't be a better time for him. It couldn't be a better club for him, given how Chelsea have played under Thomas Tuchel.
Do you think he is right to go there now, Nedum? Do you think this is the right move for him?
I think it's tough to say. You don't really know how happy he is, but I think he's somebody who can perform very, very well in the Premier League. I think his style of play, his understanding of the league, his understanding of Chelsea as a football club, and you know, he'd be going to a place whereby they've just won a Champions League, so they're clearly on the up with the new manager, with a style that works. So, you know, I think from a sort of perspective of supporting Lukaku, I think that could be a great move in this moment. But you know, we'll have to see, because he's still got many, many years to go and on a goal. So, you know, like I say, I think when you look at it now, maybe it's a good time if Chelsea do have the money based on, say, some of the financial fair play softening the rules this summer. Perhaps it's a great time, and maybe the opportunity won't be there next year. So I guess if the stars align, this should probably make it happen.
The stars seem to be aligning more here at the moment, Shaka, just with everything we're seeing today. With Chelsea and Lukaku, the Man City and Harry Kane, they seem to be one step closer to their goal scorer that they've gone out for in the market. Does it give them any edge if they do get Lukaku and City don't get Kane?
Without question. Listen, I think Lukaku comes in and quite easily gives Chelsea 25 goals this season. Given their lack of scoring from their front man in Timo Werner last season, that pushes them a whole lot closer to the 3 clubs that got the better of them last season. And let's keep in mind that half of that season was under Frank Lampard, and how good Chelsea actually were under Thomas Tuchel. I think Lukaku gives them a couple of options as well. We know that he can play as a front man all on his own. We saw that in his previous spell at Chelsea. We saw that in excel at Everton. And then you saw him play as one of a front two with Inter Milan, where I thought he was outstanding for the last couple of seasons. seasons. So it also gives Thomas Tuchel a lot of options in terms of how he addresses, how he lines up, and what personnel he's able to call on. I felt all along that as long as Chelsea got a front man, the only club better than them that go into the season probably in better shape is Manchester City. A player of Lukaku's quality puts a little gap in between, or bigger gap between them and Manchester United, and Liverpool closes the gap somewhat on City while they still wait on the arrival of Harry Kane. This is a good signing.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.